Hello everyone, my name is Alexa and welcome to my channel. Today I thought it would be fun to do a little Disney tag get to know me questions. Okay, so I wrote down a list of 30 questions that I found online. So I just wrote down some of the questions I thought would be most interesting, and I haven't really planned out answers for most of these, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go through, and that way you all can get to know me. Okay, so the first question is, what is your favorite Disney character? And there's other questions asking about like villains and princesses and stuff. So my favorite just general Disney character is Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. I have a little stuffed animal of him here. I first discovered him in the Epic Mickey games, which I was like obsessed with because I love like creepy stuff, and I met Oswald in the parks and I literally cried when I met him because I love him so much. Next on my list is my favorite Disney princess. My favorite Disney princess is Belle because I love to read and I think I look probably the most like her out of all the princesses. But when I was little, my favorite Disney princess was Ariel. Next question is, who is your favorite Disney prince? My favorite Disney prince is probably Kristoff, and Jonathan Groff is one of my favorite Disney actors. So next is favorite Disney animal. I guess my favorite Disney animal would be Figaro, the cat from both Pinocchio and also it's Minnie Mouse's cat. Not really sure why they have the same cat, but my cat's name was Figaro. We named him after that character, so that's always kind of been my favorite animal. Okay, next is my favorite Disney soundtrack, which is most definitely Frozen 2. I love all the songs on that soundtrack. Next is, what's my favorite Disney theme park? My favorite park is Walt Disney World. And in Walt Disney World, my favorite park is the Magic Kingdom. I think that it has the best like theming of all the parks, and it also has the most to do. Okay, next is my favorite attraction. My favorite attraction, if you couldn't guess by my channel name, is Splash Mountain. I'm obsessed with Splash Mountain. I love Splash Mountain. Anyway, the reason why I love Splash Mountain is because it was the first Disney ride I went on that I felt like it just hit me in that moment that I'm in Disney. I love this place. I've never been happier. And I love how long that ride is. I think it's really like worth it to wait in line for it. And I like that there's like a solid storyline through the ride, so I've always loved that ride. It's my favorite. I have tons of Splash Mountain stuff. Favorite park character. Now you may think it's one of the Splash Mountain people, but it's not. It's actually Constance Hatchaway from the Haunted Mansion. She is my absolute favorite. I love how should I say this? I love women who are murderers. How does that Lady Gaga quote though? I don't believe in violence, but I do believe in the empowerment of women. And that's how I feel about Constance. Like, I mean, she really killed all her husbands for money and got away with it, and I think that's just so funny and like violent for a Disney park character. This is my favorite Disney villain. My favorite Disney villain is Hades from Hercules. I think that he's just so funny. Like, I love that the villain is also the comic relief in that movie. I just think that's so genius, and I love his character. Like, he's just doing his job, okay? He's the god of the underworld. He is supposed to collect souls, so he's not really a villain. Okay, question 10 is, what is a Disney movie that makes you cry? Honestly, all of them make me cry. I can't even get past the intro with like the little castle. Like, that's what makes me cry the most from Disney movies, which is really weird. I guess I'm just emotional, but I think Up is probably the one that made me cry. I usually don't cry when something sad happens. I usually only cry because I'm really happy. I don't know, that's really weird. So I guess we'll just go with Up. Okay, question 11, saddest death. This is gonna be like spoilers for Frozen 2. Although if you haven't seen Frozen 2 by now, what are you doing? When Olaf dies in Frozen 2, I mean, I know he comes back, okay, but when I saw that movie in theaters and I was sitting there and he died, and I literally like turned to, I think my mom was next to me, and I was like, did Olaf just die? And I was so distraught. I didn't know what to do. I love Olaf with my whole heart. Next is least favorite song. I feel like there's no songs that I just like hate. Like I have to be in the mood to listen to certain songs, but I don't hate Disney songs. But that one song from Snow White, whose name I literally can't think of right now, she's singing like at the wishing well, and then in the movie the prince just like pops out of nowhere and starts singing too. That like is like a jump scare every time. I can't, the prince in Snow White honestly scares me. I don't like that song just for that reason. Like if I'm listening to the song by itself, it's fine, but in the movie he just comes out of nowhere and it's terrifying. Like he is the villain in Snow White, okay? Not the evil queen. Him. Next is my least favorite Pixar film, which I'm pretty sure I don't have favorite Pixar film on this list, because I don't really have a favorite Pixar film. Sorry. My least favorite Pixar film would probably be Onward. I don't know. Maybe I was just in a mood when I watched it. I only seen it once, but it just wasn't for me. I thought it was kind of boring. Number 14 is a song that always gets stuck in your head. I guess the ones that are stuck in my head the most are There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow from Carousel of Progress, and also We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. Fun fact, I listened to, I think it was a 24-hour loop of that song, just like straight through. Number 15, Disney movie that you've watched at least 10 times. I'm also counting this as my favorite Disney movie, which is Zootopia. I love that it has like darker like themes and that it's kind of like a mystery. Also, I think the characters are like, their personalities are written so well. Like I love everything about Zootopia. I've been waiting for the Zootopia like show to come on Disney Plus ever since they announced it. Where is it? Like I needed that yesterday. Okay, number 16 is which Disney merch to buy first. Now I'm not really sure. I know that the first thing I ever got in Disney was little Mickey Mouse stickers, like circle Mickey Mouse stickers that they gave me for free when I got to my hotel. I was literally like 5 or 6 the first time I went to Disney, so I don't really remember. But the things that I have that I bought that time, I can show you. When I stood up to get this, I literally knocked over the entirety of my Lego Harry Potter castle and it broke. So, anyway, I'll fix it later. I have this little Disney Express pin. I don't know if you can see there's a little Mickey right here. So this came in a 2-pack. Like the pin came with, it has 2 of this pin on it, and it has one that says one to keep and one to trade. So the pin came with 2 so that you could trade pins while still having the pin, which for someone like me, like I need to have a copy of everything if I'm trading pins. That's why I don't trade pins, because I want to have them all. My other first thing that I bought in Disney is this little, oh my goodness, I almost forgot her name, Minnie Mouse Ariel stuffed doll thing. And the last thing I bought on my first trip to Disney was this crown. You got to build your own and pick out the little pins to put on it. I think it still fits. No, definitely not. I guess I'm too big to be a princess. Question 17. If I was left alone in Disney, how would I spend my day? Honestly, I would go and like walk through all the rides. Like I wouldn't ride them. I would want to walk through like areas that you can't get to. Like the Haunted Mansion, I would for sure be walking through that ballroom scene. I really love Disney history and like learning about Disney things, so I would for sure be like backstage on everything and looking at it. I'd definitely want to see it all and see how everything works. I think it's so cool. Okay, number 18 is, who is your favorite superhero? I'm guessing this question means like Marvel superhero. But honestly, my favorite Disney superhero is Cat Noir from Miraculous Ladybug. But I guess if I have to pick a Marvel superhero, my favorite would be Scarlet Witch, because obviously, I mean, she's the best one. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? My favorite Star Wars character is Han Solo, although I also really love R2-D2. And because of that, my favorite Star Wars movie is Solo, which probably is an unpopular opinion in the Star Wars community, but I'm not really like a huge Star Wars fan. Like I like it, but I'm not like crazy about it. Solo's my favorite movie and my favorite character. On to question 20. How many times have you visited Disney parks? I already said the first time I went I was 5, so there's that one. And then the next time I went, I was around 13, I think. And that was also Disney World. I went with my grandmother and my cousins. And then I think the third time I went was to Disneyland with that same grandmother and cousins. And that was just for like one day. I did do both parks there. And then fourth time I went was for my high school graduation with just my mom, my dad, and my brother. And then the 5th time I went was for my 20th birthday, which was the same day as the 50th anniversary of Disney World. So I went with my roommate for a weekend. So I've been 5 times. Okay, next question is favorite quote. I probably could pick something like inspirational and stuff, but honestly, no. My favorite quote is from Mulan, and Mushu says, let me get it right. It's dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. Okay, next is favorite Disney t-shirt. It is not the one that I'm wearing, although this is one of my favorites. Yellow is my favorite color, so I love the yellow Disney shirt. But my favorite Disney shirt is this one right here, which is a little wrinkly and needs to be ironed. It has Walt Disney World, and then it has little pictures of like the attractions. But my favorite part is that on the back it has kind of like concert dates. It has the opening date of every attraction, and there's a lot of October 1st, which is my birthday, because that was the opening of Walt Disney World. Question 23 is, have you watched a Disney movie in another language? Surprisingly, the answer to this is yes. I watched Frozen in French in my French class in middle school. I'm not sure if we watched the whole movie, but it was right when Frozen came out pretty much, so we watched it in French. Question 24 is, what is your favorite Disney conspiracy theory? Now, I love Disney conspiracy theories. Finding Nemo is like the dad is just in a depressive episode and like hallucinating his son, and that his son was actually killed like with all the baby fish in the beginning of the movie. Nemo in, I think it's Latin, means no one, and so it's like no one's there. I don't know. I've seen like tons of videos like explaining this way better than I can, but I think that's so interesting and I love that because I think it adds so many like layers to that movie. Is it actually about that? Probably not, but I think it'd be really cool if it was. Okay, question 25 is, what is the last Disney movie you watched? I watched Avengers Endgame, because I'm a little crazy. I've been trying to watch every Disney movie on Disney Plus in alphabetical order, so I've finally gotten to the end of A's, which took me like a year. I don't watch movies like all the time, but when I got to like the Avengers movies, I haven't actually watched all the Marvel movies, so I've just watched Marvel movies in order. So I finally got to Avengers Endgame 2 days ago. Question 26 is your family Disney obsessed? And that's gonna be a big no for my family. They'll go to Disney with me because they know I'm Disney obsessed. My brother honestly hates Disney. He hates going to the parks. He hates like amusement parks in general and like rides, so that's a no from him. My parents really are like neutral. Like they'll get excited if I'm excited, but they don't really understand why I love Disney so much. I have tons of friends who are Disney obsessed, just not my family. Question 27, I was really surprised when this showed up on the list because I feel like it's kind of random, but it's, would you name your child after a Disney character? And funnily enough, on my notes app on my phone, I have a list of baby names going since I was like in middle school, because who doesn't? And my top name for a girl is Aurora, just because I really like the name. Aurora is actually probably my least favorite Disney princess, but I love her name, so yes, I would. The next question is, which is your favorite Disney princess dress? I'm going to say Tiana's green dress. I think that the way that it looks like a lily pad is so, like, that's amazing. She has like the most detailed dress, I feel like, out of all the princesses. Although I also really love live action Cinderella's dress as well. It's just the skirt's so big, like I just want to twirl in it. Question 29, we're almost at the end. What job would you want to do at Disney? Now, I had wanted to do the Disney College program for like as long as I can remember, but unfortunately when the time came for when I would have applied to do that, COVID hit, and now I'm no longer in college, so I can't do it. And honestly, I don't do well in the heat or working. Kidding, I have a job. But when I had wanted to do that, I wanted to be a photo pass person because I did photography all through high school and a little bit of junior high. And I also would love to work in the Haunted Mansion because I love their costumes, like I'm obsessed with them. Now I'd say I'd either want to work in Disney publishing, or I'd want to work in the Disney archives in California because I'm in graduate school now to be a librarian. So librarians work in archives, and I love Disney history and stuff. I would love to work there, but I don't really want to live in California, so probably not going to end up doing that, but it'd be so cool if I did. My last question, question 30, is if you could meet Walt Disney, what would you say to him? Honestly, I'd probably just break down and start crying, give him a good hug, because he created one of my favorite things. And honestly, I'd probably be a totally different person if he never did that. And I really admire the fact that he wanted this to be a place for adults to enjoy as well. And like for adults to love Disney movies and music and everything. Because I think it's so wonderful that other adults wanted to create magic in the world that isn't just for children. Thank you all so much for making it to the end of my Disney tag. If you enjoyed watching this, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and also follow my TikTok as well, which I will put the handle somewhere for you to find. Goodbye and have an Alexa-Dee-Doo-Dah day!